Can't touch this.
The backhand that came through it wasn't even...
He refused to wear the medal at the Olympic Games. He's dubbed as the eccentric clown. Yet millions are fascinated by him. Is he a flash from West Bromwich or a new boxing star? Ultimately, he's compared to the great Prince Naseem Hamed. But does Ben Whittaker truly have a champion's future? Well, let's try to figure it out. From a young age, Ben had a passion for sports, but boxing always held a special place in his heart. Under the guidance of his first coach, Jimmy Moore, Ben began his journey as a boxer at the age of 10. It wasn't long before Moore recognized Ben's natural talent and potential. Ben's amateur career kicked off on February 9, 2014, at the age of 17. In his debut match, he secured his first victory, setting the stage for what was to come. Throughout his amateur career, Ben amassed an impressive record of 70 fights, with 56 wins and 14 losses. Notably, he never suffered a knockout defeat. Competing in European and World Championships from the age of 17, Ben reached the finals of the European Games at 19, although he fell short of victory. Despite his numerous accomplishments, Ben always aimed for gold. Disappointed with anything less, he faced a bitter defeat in the final of the 2020 Summer Olympics against Arlen Lopez, settling for silver. His refusal to wear the medal sparked controversy worldwide, with Ben later explaining to BBC, "You don't win silver, you lose gold." Reflecting on his actions, Ben admitted his behavior was inappropriate and issued an apology to his fans. The Tokyo fiasco dealt a heavy blow to the young athlete, but he remained determined to bounce back. Nearly a year after the Olympics, Ben embarked on his professional boxing career. His first opponent, Greg O'Neill, fell victim to a stunning knockout.
He represents. How good is he?
It's a good clash of characters.
He probably has to work harder because of so many. Hate him, you're going to watch him. His punches. O'Neill doesn't know where they're coming from. It was a big shot.
Watching his debut professional bout, you won't quite catch the full essence of Ben as he stands today. Even after clinching the win, he indulged in a little dance. But that's just scratching the surface of what this fighter is all about. In his sophomore pro match against Petar Nosic, he bagged a solid victory by the judge's decision. Ben was as precise as ever, but Nosic's chin proved sturdy enough to weather all the rounds.
Oh, good shot. Lovely right hand.
You're getting closer to seeing the real Ben here, but it's still not quite the whole enchilada, if you catch my drift.
Wasn't quite positioned to plant the feet, but he timed him. Ben Whittaker.
While Ben's early professional matches showcased glimpses of his true potential, it was in his third bout against Brandt that he truly shone. After this very fight, they'll be comparing him to Prince Naseem Hamed, and with good reason. Sporting a leopard print robe and shorts, Ben embraced his showman persona, captivating the audience with his flashy style.
Yesterday, a good happening too. No title on the line, so you could argue we didn't have to, but looking up at the ring, there does seem to...
Ben moved a lot, countered effectively, and maintained a high pace throughout the entire fight. He engaged not only with his opponent, but also with the audience. Many times during the bout, he would distract himself, saying something, waving or winking at someone in the crowd, playing to the audience.
There's the showboating.
With somebody in the crowd into the final stages of the first round. Good to try and measure that. Leading off with that right hand. Nice 1-2 there from Whittaker, and then just steps off. Just, yeah, but he's dedicated dedicated to the boxing again here, but he's dedicated. Whittaker. Right hand cocked ready to go. Huge. 28 seconds remaining in the round. Whittaker.
The fight ended in the third round, literally with one powerful blow 10 seconds from the bell.
It's part about that the backhand that came through is it wasn't even.
Oh, and he's staggered again. Here is in the ring. Got caught.
Brandt's coach threw in the towel, and the referee stopped the fight. This beating truly deserved to be stopped. Sure, Ben's been accused of disrespecting his opponent, unnecessary antics, and just unsportsmanlike behavior. But right after the fight, he approached Jordan and showed him his respect. The next fight with Vladimir Bski turned out to be somewhat tense.
Big back, Vlad lets out.
As he moved off to his right.
Yeah, slight confidence, albeit possibly even false confidence that Bski may have has been knocked out of him already.
Again there.
The fighters were taunting each other, but it didn't look like a show. It was more like audacity, especially from Bski's side. True to form, though, Ben managed to send him sprawled out on the canvas in the third round.
Down the middle, that was neat. Bski with a little bit of trouble.
Switch sides, double in, triple body shot.
However, there was some visible frustration from the fighter.
Solid combination there from Whittaker, and he gave just a little bit of ground there. Bski taxing.
By the fifth round, Ben was feeling more confident and giving the fans what they love.
He looked rocked there briefly, Bski and Whittaker just...
You know, I know everyone has to...
Although Vladimir tried his best to spoil the moments for the Brit. It all came to an end in the eighth round, where after two successful attacks by Ben, the referee stopped the fight.
To him if he manages to make it through, just not getting caught by time.
Not everyone agreed with the decision, especially Bski himself. But nonetheless, the Englishman added another victory to his record. The next opponent was Italian fighter Stephen Leonetti Dreadhodge, who, compared to previous opponents, had a much better record, having lost only 2 out of 14 fights.
Lengthy.
The bout was predicted to be challenging for the Brit, but he approached it in his own style, with dancing, smiles to the crowd, and similar antics, like boxing without even looking at his opponent.
He's got the good part in the ring right now.
Which prompted the referee to call a timeout to explain that it's boxing, not wrestling.
So these guys have been in the ring together before. Yeah, you can feel the...
Do anything about that, but...
Jedi intercommitting, falling short.
It seemed like such an approach against such a serious opponent would play into Stephen's hands, but in the fourth round, he ended up knocked out.
Eminently possible. Gas. The 50 seconds that remained after that and chose.
And that hit him on the button and then the hook.
Puts him in position, it's the left hook then that does the damage.
The latest bout, as of now, took place against the Frenchman Khalid Ghedra on February 3rd. Khalid doesn't stand out with a successful streak of wins, but he's nearly 15 years older than the Englishman.
Last year, as Whittaker started with...
The fight started a bit nervously, with both fighters testing each other's defenses. But by the end of the first round, Whittaker returned to his usual boxing style.
On the spin. He's trying to reply. It's just...
In the next round, Whittaker managed to land Ghedra on the ring, almost causing a knockdown.
Swagger and the Brandt and all that type of thing. I do. Oh, beautiful shot. And got that left hook right round the back of the elbow into the floating rib area.
Feeling like he was in control of the situation, Whittaker tried to create the most spectacular show possible. It even seemed like he already saw himself as the winner. But since people bought tickets, he had to put on a show.
Can he follow it up? He looked for it again there, but he managed to drop the elbow on it great again. And here he goes, Whittaker. A little bit of swelling around the...
The referee had to stop the fight several times to explain that while it was all very entertaining, this is boxing, and certain moves aren't allowed. This led to the crowd booing the referee.
Whittaker's antics, so maybe just Whittaker's antics, so maybe just Ryan Greg it up a little bit here. He's setting his feet, and looking to let his hands go, but that could suit better.
By the fifth round, Whittaker grew tired of it all, so he sent the Frenchman down with a powerful attack, after which the fight was stopped. 6-0, a brilliant outcome and the beginning of a career. The next bout is planned for the end of March, but there are no details yet. Perhaps the new opponent will be another Brit, Joshua Buatsi. Both boxers have unofficially agreed to the fight in an interview with Sky Sports. Prince Hamed, a prominent figure in the boxing world, firmly established himself among the best boxers, not only due to his skillful technique, but also thanks to his charisma, or perhaps his moderate arrogance, depending on how you look at it. Even his entrance into the ring was an event, like flying in on a carpet, a brilliant idea for a prince. Ben shares similar traits with the prince, both British, charismatic, putting on a show for the audience, sometimes seemingly mocking their opponent. Their extraordinary speed of movement and reactions, as well as their flamboyance, make them alike, even in the ring. Prince Hamed's trainer was the legendary Manny Stewart, while Whittaker is trained by Manny's nephew, Sugar Hill Stewart, who also coaches Tyson Fury, the current champion and flamboyant showman. By the way, if you want us to make a video about the future Fury vs. Usyk fight, write about it in the comments right now. The Prince was a multiple-time champion, but throughout his professional career, he only lost one fight. It's obvious that Ben still has a long way to go, but most experts already see him as the next champion. Moreover, the young boxer enjoys such comparisons and doesn't mind them, even somewhat fueling them visually. But there is one very important difference between these two boxers. Hamed genuinely felt anger towards his opponents. He didn't play the role of a bad boy who belittles others. He was one, and in the end he became a victim of his own arrogance. Ben, on the other hand, is a fighter of a new formation. He makes the show, and he knows it. Mostly, after the final bell, he pays tribute to his opponent, and the social media he runs speaks of him as a fairly sensitive person, capable of admitting his mistakes, like in the situation with the Olympic Games. And at least for now, there's no real sense of pride and arrogance in him. Still, who is he? A skillful and charismatic boxer? Yes. A showman, a man of the new era? Definitely. A future champion? Time will tell. Honestly, 6 fights. A successful start to a professional career, but not a benchmark. Will he be the new Prince Hamed? No, the Prince was a man of his time, and Ben is a man of his. We'll see many more exciting fights from him. Perhaps the championship is not far off either. But Ben understands that the journey to the championship must be confident, not hasty.